Hi, I'm Aaron J. Marks of aaronjmarks.com and commercetheory.com. Welcome to my podcast, A Higher Level, where everything we think, see, and do happens on a higher level. For as long as I can remember, I felt like my mind has worked just a little differently than most others. For my entire life, I've been studying, observing, and contemplating this incomparably strange and wonderful phenomenon called human existence, and trying to figure out what it's all about. People say the way of thinking and theorizing that comes from this offers an unusually high and rich level of insight, clarity, freedom, inspiration, and effortless creativity. And that's ultimately what a higher level is all about. The insight to understand how life works, the clarity to see where to go next, the freedom to go there, the inspiration to find joy and wonder along the journey, and the creativity to honor your particular brand of human genius. In this podcast, I'm going to break down and describe the concepts that come from my theories so that you can see into the fabric of the life you're living with greater depth and precision, and use that understanding to improve your results in every way that's meaningful to you. It's the only life you get, and the only chance you have to make a difference here. If there's one thing I know, it's that all lives can improve, and that the human race is just one big collective results improving system. Ready to find your place here? Fabulous. Let's get into the topic for this episode of A Higher Level. I'll see you again afterward and talk more about what it looks like to work with me. Until then, let's dive in. Hello, this is Aaron of aaronjmarks.com, and welcome to another episode of A Higher Level. It's my podcast where everything we think, see, and do happens on a higher level. So this is season two, and we're in getting toward the end of the first series in season two, which is the different facets of my work. So number 6 is that I'm a strategic theorist of commerce and communication. And what that means is I understand the hidden dynamics of business and commerce on every level and trace its structures and tools back to the essence of our collective and age-old species level strivings. I help people understand that all business, commerce, and socialization is constructed from a set of communicative signals designed to do this and only this, and that most of it happens subliminally. So this is essentially the next series, which is commerce theory, which is a theory that I've recently created to explain human socialization. So I'll give you a brief account of it here. So and I feel like I'm, referencing other aspects of this series, and I'm not going to spend too much time doing it here because that is the next series. But basically, humans are this collective species. We have this cognition and we have these social patterns, and they're all after something. So humans cannot exist isolated from other humans. It's just not possible. So all of us rely on one another and all of us serve one another. And we can't help but to do this. And even when it feels like we struggle to do it, this is indeed what we're doing. So ultimately, there are people who will come to your rescue. There are people who will care about you, and there are people that you care about, and you'll come to their rescue. And this thing that we call commerce, which we tend to think of as a we tend to think of in one sense, which is business and money and goods and services. It's actually much broader than that, and that's what commerce theory is about. So the business and the goods and services is a subset of that broader set of behaviors, which is interacting together and improving life for the collective and the individual simultaneously through societal interaction. So if you understand that that's what humans are engaging in all the time, then you can go into any set of interactions and, an organization is merely a set of interactions, that's, kind of enclosed and contained and set apart from others. And you can look at all of its components and understand why they're there and what they were intended for and which result they sought to improve. And if people are not happy with the results of that organization, you can look at those systems and signals and you can work with them to improve the results of that organization. That's what I mean when I say I'm a strategic theorist of commerce and communication. I'm going to break this down in much greater depth in the next series, which is commerce theory. But for now, that's where I'll leave it. So That's commerce theory, a strategic theorist of commerce and communication, um, which I really had fun putting together. And there, there's great depth to the way that that's constructed. But ultimately, what it comes down to is you go through human life and you look at all the things that people communicate to one another, and you look at all the ways that people, create structures to sustain their behaviors and their interactions, and you ask, okay, what were all those what were all those intended to seek, right? Because we're all seeking something, and ultimately, I tend to think we're all seeking some version of the same thing. I think that ultimately, when you look for a theory of anything, you're saying, okay, what is the commonality that this always comes down to? I think humans are seeking the same thing. And that's what commerce theory is about. And we're going to explore that more in the next series. So I'll see you there. But we have a couple more, yeah, a few more installments of this current series. So I will see you in the next one. This is Aaron of aaronjmarks.com. And this has been another episode of A Higher Level. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for joining me on A Higher Level. If I've done my job right, you're seeing, thinking, and acting differently, with more clarity, more decisiveness, more intention, more success. The current state of your life is just a set of results, and they can all be improved. Doesn't matter whether it concerns yourself, your family, your friends, your community, your workplace, your investments, your world. Behave differently, act differently, communicate differently, and your results will change, guaranteed. But how do you change your actions, behaviors, and communications? If you're unsure, give me a shout. I've helped dozens of motivated leaders and organizations like you and yours to improve their results by discerning exactly the right next step. It's something not everyone can do, and it happens to be my specialty. Sound like something you can use? Learn more about me on all my media channels, and reach out to start your own conversation and improve your life in every way. There's nothing like it. And you're worth it. Because if you're not, then no one is. Thanks again for joining me on A Higher Level. I'll talk to you next time, and we'll continue to see, think, and act on a higher level. Until then.